Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another OSR tabletop live stream with myself, GM Bluddworth. This is the second video in the series of, or live stream, in the series of my OSR Morning live stream series. I'm doing this one day earlier because tomorrow I have some things on the plate, and I see that my timing is a little bit off. I'm actually 2 minutes early going live here. So I will give you all a few minutes to jump on in. The reason why I'm doing this is because I felt that twice a week it would be nice for me to reach out to my subscribers that are more so morning viewers, whether it's my morning or if they are in some far-flung opposite side of the world, that this will catch them in the afternoon or early evening and just be much more open for all of my subscribers, so all of my members, of course, as well, able to come on in and join in the chat, and we just talk about gaming, and we're going to talk about whether it's my upcoming week worth of gaming or theirs, or what we did last week and whatnot. So it is just an open chat forum. It will stop promptly around 10:45, so only about an hour and 45 minutes. Two things is dependent upon that. Number one, if I could still maintain my voice through that time. I am, if you've been following my channel, you know that I was in the hospital last week and still within recovery. I will see how my voice and everything holds up. And then but the other reason why is that Shadow and Son, a good friend of the channel, one of my players in multiple games that I do run, Shadow does his morning promo video that he has set up, and those are always go on 11 o'clock. So I don't want to step on his toes at all. And then we will certainly look to catch him because he does his live stream afterwards. Good morning, Techno Babble. I am going to switch views here so that we can see the comments in there. And so there you go. I've been tweaking a little things with the presentations here on the channel as well to make it a lot easier for you to see your comments and to participate in as well. So anyway, now that we have a few, well, two right now coming up. Again, it's just on time right now. Sometimes that launch thing, I have like a 30-second timer. Then it will shift views. But when you hit begin live stream and hit that, they don't always coordinate exactly right. So I mistimed it today, so a little bit early. But I am going to put up the invite because, like I said, this is a morning chat and open for you to join in if you wish to and jump right in there. So let me talk a little bit about my gaming coming up. So tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we are continuing the Greyhawk campaign. It is Castles and Crusades system-based campaign, but I call it the Greyhawk campaign because the location is far more important than the game system itself. All right, so the city of Greyhawk is going to be setting the tone for the campaign. The majority of their adventuring is going to take place within the city of Greyhawk or in its surrounding areas. And so location is the focus. And that's a campaign style or choice that you can make as a game master when you're wanting to kind of change the focus of a campaign. So not, when you make it a location focus, then the location almost takes on a personality, an identity of its own. And I think that that's a pretty cool thing to dabble with and to get the players attuned with as well, because then they can start seeing how their characters fit within this location, and then how are their characters being impacted by the location and how they might impact the location going forward through their actions. So that is my Tuesday night game. My Wednesday night game, I am going to be joining a Dark Sun campaign run by the Erudite DM. So I'm actually getting a chance to be a player in something. It is second edition. I'm waiting on some details. During the last 2 weeks, with my hospitalization and recovery, I kind of lost track of that email web of, what VTT are we using, and, where is the stuff on the Discord, where is the stuff on the Dropbox, and all stuff. So I don't even know what character I'm playing at this moment, but I'm sure we'll touch bases sometime before that. So that's my Wednesday night. I think that's just going to be a limited time live stream. All right. So it's going to be an actual play. My first time doing that kind of a thing as well. So a little bit nervous about it, but we'll see how that goes. And then on Thursday, I'll be returning to running D&D BX and running it raw or virtually raw. And our player characters will be picking up where they left off. They had just arrived at the keep on the Borderlands, so I call Kendall Keep, which is in Yeomanry, and then they'll be going off from there. So looking forward to picking that up again. And then Friday I have nothing planned, and Friday might be just like a day of rest. And then Saturday evening, I have that's like 7:30, 8 o'clock-ish, my OSC all Dwarven campaign. Looking forward to get back into that again. They're getting ready to search out a hobgoblin lair. They're not quite sure, where it's going to be located, but they kind of have a pathway of trying to track down, what way to go and what direction to go in, and then I'll see where it takes them. But really looking forward to that as well. So going forward, as far as this week is concerned, as far as video content, I'm going to continue my shelf tour. I'm on shelf number 16, so I can actually spin out over the way here. I am onto this shelf down over here, and that shelf down over there. I already had some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that I'm going to hit into some Palladium, and then Mifrog, and then a few other odds and ends there. And then I get to the very extended bottom shelf of my shelf system there. So that's going to take at least another 50 to 70 videos as well. Then I will move on to my novels that I keep right at my side over here, just out of view for you, and go into that there. I probably have about 300 items or more to go over for my shelf tour. So I'm really looking forward to continuing that on. It's been very popular on the channel, and just excited to get back into it again. And good morning to you too, Merlin. Good to see you. And my recovery is doing fine. Thank you for asking. So if you're not aware, I went in for a hernia operation, and the hernia turned out to be, I actually had 3 herniated, basically 3 holes through my abdominal wall. And it was supposed to be a 3-hour surgery, but it ended up being a 4-hour surgery because they had to not just reconstruct my abdominal wall, reinforce it with 3 sheets of mesh, but they had to pull my muscles from my chest. You have muscles that run down the lateral of your chest, on either side of your sternum, and those muscles had been pushed out, so stretched out so far that, they had to cut the anchors a little bit or stretch the anchors a little bit and bring them on in forward. And I have about 50 staples running from about here, all the way down to my navel. So that was the initial operation that was supposed to take place. All right. And that went fairly well. Although my surgeon told me that I was going to have some pretty severe pain, because when he was trying to bring those muscles together, those muscles just tensed up, and he was like, it was a battle to actually get them pretty close together so that they could be sutured up and anchored in with the mesh over those. The complication, which it still wasn't a complicated, it was just complicated surgery, and certainly not a dangerous surgery, but it was my navel, my belly button basically was so displaced and messed up around with that he had to re-anchor, which I don't really know what that means, but he had to re-anchor my whole belly button. I basically went in with an outie and I came back with, I'm outside of that now with an innie, and he had to re-anchor my whole belly button. So that was an hour by itself. So in the end, he basically said that it was, the surgery went well, and no infection or anything like that. He's a really great surgeon, and the hospital care was great as well, although so darn frequent. I mean, it was like every two. They don't like just sleep in that hospital. It was like every 2 hours somebody was in my room throughout the entire night. It was like 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 6. I was like, the only time I think they let you actually sleep was from, like when they're on their lunch. So from like 12 to 3 or 12 to 4 in the afternoon, you might get a span of time to sleep. But overall, to get back to your question, very long-winded here. I'm testing my lungs out too. Yes, I did leave the hospital with like the equivalent of like con crud, so just that persistent cough after several days away from sleeping in your home bed, I guess. And so that's what's really holding me up from doing long form videos, at least for the last couple of days. But anyway, so it's going well. I am going in on, I have a telephone conference tomorrow with my doctor. That's why I'm doing this morning and not tomorrow. And then on Friday, I'm going in to see if they're going to start to remove some of those staples. Like I said, I have about 50 very, very close, heavy duty staples. I mean, these things are maybe like a 1/4 inch thick, and there's 50 of them, and they're lined up so close to one another. You barely see skin in between each of them, which, from what I understand, when they do come out, because they were so tight, close together, they're going to leave less of a scar, which I'm not really concerned about because I don't walk around, bare chested anyway. But it should be a very smooth, clean incision mark, and hopefully not as noticeable. So all said and done so far, it's been a good recovery, and the surgery went well, and I'm looking forward to seeing the outcome of it going forward. So anyway, let's get back to gaming now. So I have a lot of things on the plate for gaming. Now, come September 8th, I go back to, technically, August 31st, I go back to work. I'm working just Monday through Thursday, the week of August 31st, doing my pension consultations. At the very beginning of the year, it's kind of strange. I guess I'll be getting people who are looking to retire from teaching by October 1st. I mean, because that's a very common retirement date, believe it or not. And so I'll be working that full week, except for Friday. And then the following week, the Tuesday is the day after Labor Day, and then I'll be back to my regular part-time scheduling. I believe I'm going to talk to my secretary today, but I believe that my working hours and days starting next year will be next school year will be Monday through Thursday. So I am working 4 days a week. Hey, Sean.
Oh,
Good to see you.
just woke up, figured I'd pop in and say hi.
Oh yeah, welcome. Nice to see you. Yeah, I like doing these morning ones, because I get to see different people. Sometimes it works, in their schedules a lot better. And so, yeah, I'm going to continue doing these. It's normally every Tuesday and Thursday, but I have a teleconference tomorrow, so I figured let me do it today. Test out my lungs and everything. So I think I've pretty much gotten over my hospital-induced con crud, that
Right.
persistent coughing that I almost always get from long conventions. And so I came out of the hospital with that. So, but that seems to be clearing up. Prednisone is a great drug. I mean, prednisone is like a miracle drug. Can't stay on it too long, but it's basically it's a steroid, for your lungs, cleans up your lungs pretty quickly. But anyway, how you been?
No, I've been okay. I've been doing this project on my channel, trying to revamp the storefront, for SEO optimization. So that means I haven't published anything new other than shorts in a couple of weeks, and
Right,
and I'm redoing the thumbnails and the descriptions and all that.
right.
4 years of like snail level growth is starting to grate at me. It's like, come on, man, let's get my stuff out there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I looked at my channel like that too, and I'm like, you know what? I'm close to 5,000 subscribers. Probably like a
Yeah,
100 away or
just
103 away or something like that. About 1 million views. And it's like the first year I don't even count. I had like 36 subscribers and I did about 10 videos the first year, maybe 16 videos, between 10 and 16
right.
videos.
So you weren't cranking them out.
No, I wasn't doing anything with it at all the first year. Then I decided, let me actually focus a little bit more on this, and then it got to the second year, it got up to like 100 subscribers. And it tends to, I think the way that it works, it's not the algorithm. It's like when you hit certain milestones, it starts putting you into a different category, let's say. And now all of a sudden you'll start to pick up a lot faster, exponentially faster. So once you hit those certain milestones and everything, all of a sudden it just kind of clicks in. And then you'll have these peter down moments, like I could see with like viewership and that kind of thing, is that they're not spreading it out as much. I used to get suggestions to look at my own videos.
Yep.
It's like yeah, and I haven't been getting those as frequently now. Yes, I've tapered off the last 2 weeks as well. So I guess they want that churn, and you just keep on putting stuff out there.
One of the things I've learned, like I said, I until last month or so, I haven't even looked into how SEO works. Not a real deep dive, and it's about like they send your impressions out in waves, right?
Yes.
Like they do a test seed to the people that normally watch you, and then if that works, they send out like 100 more to strangers, and then they gauge that.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know how it works for smaller channels. I guess it looks at the SEO optimization of whatever you're putting out and sends it
Right.
out. Don't have a seed, but yeah, I mean, growth wise, my first year was pretty rapid. I got to 1,000 and monetized just over a year. I'm like, hey, this is great. This is moving
Yeah.
nice. And then it slowed to a crawl. It took me 3 years to get to 2,000. It's like fuck.
Yeah. You know, it's bottom line. It's I just like making videos, and whether they get 100 views or 1,000 views or 10 views really doesn't. Views are not what drive me. Comments drive me. I
Right.
love comments because comments to me is engagement. You know, whether or not they're, so it's like when I see a video that has a lot of comments, I'm like, all right, let me see what I can get from this, and then I
Mhm.
build off of those. And so that's something that I look forward to is the comments in there. So I always encourage everybody, more so than um, just subscribing or whatever, comment in the comment section because that helps me grow as a creator to say, hey, what do you want to see?
Well,
What's in your mind?
I'll tell you something about me. I'm a greedy mofo. I want it all. I want it
Yeah.
all.
It's it's I know a couple of years ago somebody, I'm not going to mention the person, but attacked both myself and Eric Tankar because we're both retirees and we don't need this to make a living. You know what I'm saying? We're on a fixed income. We don't need this to make a living, and then they're pensions, so they're decent incomes. You know, and so oh, you really don't need this. You don't, and it's like, yeah, that's why I do it as a hobby. It's like it's not something that, don't get me wrong. I mean, I like the $100 a month that it might earn, and then I go and I buy more content to show on the channel and everything. I don't get anything sent to me. I buy it all, and so if that allows me to keep myself self-sufficient on this without tapping into my other stuff, then fine. I don't need this to be, this channel will never be, you know,
A
probably a
full-time job.
10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll never be a 10,000 subscriber channel. It'll never be certainly won't be 100,000 plus or any. No way. It's not going to happen. I don't need it to be there. If it happened, would I be like, oh shucks, I got to know? Of course not. But
YouTube, take your silver thing back. I don't want your play
yeah,
button. I just
but
want.
but
I
the
just
thing
want.
is that it's like I wouldn't want I don't want this to become a job,
Right.
because then I would be like, oh, geez, I have to make this content now. I have to upgrade all my stuff. I have to start, putting out those AI generated thumbnails and everything. I was like, no, I just take a picture of the box of the thing I'm going to be talking about and slap that up there as my thumbnail. You know, I'm not going to get into I know I had this discussion with somebody last week or the week before, actually the week before. I was like, no, I'm not going to do those things where I'm grabbing the product. I'm not doing the soy face. If you remember back then,
Yeah.
back in the day when we talked about the soy face advertisement, I'm not doing these. I see them everywhere now as the thumbnails, and I don't mind that people are using AI for thumbnails. Hey, cool, go with it. But they're all looking the same now. I'm like, I don't see how
Right.
that benefits anything. It's like, and a
Well,
lot
part
of
of
my friends use them, and great, go right ahead with them. But to me, they're all starting to look exactly the same.
part
It's
part
like,
part of my overhaul is of course doing the thumbnails. So I've got a mix. I've got a mix of ones where I've used, because Studio now has a feature that it'll generate thumbnails for you. So it's right in YouTube Studio, which is nice and convenient because it also edits them. It'll edit existing ones. So it's
oh,
actually a nice
really?
feature they've
Oh, is
added.
that what
Yeah.
they're using?
I don't know. Some play like there are thumbnail generators outside of YouTube, but YouTube Studio has added a feature where it'll create thumbnails for you and it'll edit them and do everything you need. So it's
Maybe
right.
that's why everybody looks the same. Now I got to look and see. I was like, oh, maybe they were just using that feature because I see that feature and I was like, no, I just throw up my own one.
Well,
Now,
like I said, I've got a
with
mix.
it.
Like in my overhaul, like what I'm doing is something I just found out last night that I can do with YouTube's is because some of my framing and stuff, like my thumbnails for 4 years have been handmade. Like I don't know if you how often you watch my show, but like I use the puppets and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so I'll actually stage it and do it. But my pin has been in the text. I use too much lettering, it blends too much. So I've been replacing the text with a stark yellow that jumps out. Something I learned in this past month is that yellow is the first color the eye is drawn to. So
Really?
when you have thumbnails, people look at the yellow. If it's stark yellow lettering, they'll see it first. They just instinctively go for it. Pretty soon, everybody's going to be yellow, and then it won't matter. But until then,
Right. Yeah. It's like, yeah, if everyone jumps onto the same trend,
uh,
then everything starts looking like the same.
same. Yeah, they'll start saying, "Well, everybody's using yellow, and go back to white." But what I found was, rather than recreate the whole thing, I can just enter a prompt into YouTube Studio and say, "Hey, take my original thumbnail, remove all the text, and then add this text in stark yellow," and it does it perfectly, which means I don't have to go restage a lot of the thumbnails that are actually still good on a visual perspective. They just need an upgrade on the lettering. So that's actually pretty convenient for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been that's been my project, and then of course the titles and stuff. But a lot of my content is evergreen. Like I do game recaps. I recap my
Right.
campaigns. So
Right. Right. Right.
watch them episodically. And they've added a new feature called the show feature where you can turn your playlist into a serialized show. So YouTube will automatically, if somebody clicks on a video, automatically show you the sequence, and it'll show your viewer, okay, here are the other episodes in this show, and you can divide it by seasons, which is also convenient. So I'm
Okay.
overhauling my storefront with these tools that YouTube has provided.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So I'll take a look at it. I mean, because I have huge playlists. I mean, I have playlists. Castles and Crusades is probably my longest playlist.
Right.
That's like 100 and something videos, 140 videos or something like that. Shadow Dark might be around 45, 50 as far as a playlist. I mean, my longest playlist, actually, I should correct that, is my shelf tour. Those video shorts, my shelf
Okay. Yeah.
tour, and that could be broken down into. I recently shifted that whole thing to podcasts as well, because they
Yeah.
said that
Yeah.
was something that you can take a whole playlist, and it doesn't duplicate it on your channel. It just makes it searchable as a podcast as opposed to just a video.
I
Short.
think the show feature is an extension of the podcast feature in a sense.
Okay. Okay.
Same. Yeah.
So, and yeah, I could definitely categorize that into different sections. Like I could break it down by, shelf number one, through 16 that I've, gone through already. I can also categorize that down to, because I started with some of my big ticket item, books and everything that I had, like my Robert E. Howard hardback, original printing, dust covered, the Wandering Star press ones were like the big three that I had on there. They were like normally like $400 a book, and I had all three of them. So it was like, but I only paid $600 for it, So I was like, wow, I got a steal. I got a steal for it, and something my wife didn't even balk at, which I was like, wow. I was like, hey, there's these three books that they're normally like $1,200 for the three books, and they're on sale for 50% off, $600. Yeah, go right ahead, go get them. Consider it a Christmas present. I was like, all right, cool. And I was like stunned. If there were gaming books, she would say no. All right.
But these are vintage, yeah, for
But yeah,
sure.
these were vintage, and she knew I was, a big Robert E. Howard fan, and I could tell behind me, and she was like, "Oh no, go right ahead, buy them." But anyway, it's yeah. So I could definitely reorganize what I've already done, on the channel, and repackage things and everything, make it a little bit more accessible, and maybe that'll push it along as well. But
It might. I mean, YouTube apparently does a reevaluation when you change
yeah,
the three, the thumbnail, the title, and the description. And I
oh, yeah.
mean, one
Yeah,
of the things.
yeah. My wife is a keeper in many, many ways. Yeah, I wish she was a gamer, but she's not. I mean, the only game that she's ever played where, beyond like Candy Crush, and she loves Super Mario Kart, which, how could you not, enjoy, your wife and kids playing Super Mario Kart in the, in the living room, screaming at the top of their lungs, it's like,
You hit me with a shell.
yeah. Just having such a ball. But as far as tabletop gaming, I couldn't get my kids into it, even though they were Stranger Things fans. People are like, no, I don't want. That's nerdy. It's like you're watching Stranger Things. We watch it for the boys. We don't care about the game. It's like it has nothing to do with the game.
My ex, she had never played D&D before she had met me, and because she grew up Catholic in the Satanic Panic, right?
Mm.
And her parents were very much, like, no, this is a devil's game, blah, blah, like, and even though we're in Toronto and that didn't hit us as hard here, they were
Yeah.
affected. And she met me, and I was telling her about it. She said, I'd really like to try. And then one night she calls me up drunk. Oh,
Oh, hold on a second. I can answer my secretary here. Hey, Audia, how's it going?
welcome to the Bloodworth show, where we get to watch people on the phone.
Oh, sorry everyone for that.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
was, like I said, I'm trying to work out my schedule for September, and my secretary just called and she was like, "All right, well for now, just put in for Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but I'm going to talk because we're losing a pension consultant." And she says, "I'm going to put you in, like I'm going to say, let Rich take that day too, so then I'll be 4 days a week." So it's the only way I was getting extra hours, which sucks. But I'd rather have more hours in the 3 days that I was going in than having to add a fourth day. But the money's good, so got to go with that. So let's see.
The retiree who keeps working. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it just to keep me busy. If my wife were still working, all right, and I was retired, then it would be like, I would no longer be the keeper. It would be like, it's like, oh no, you're not sitting home all day doing nothing. So I get out. You know it's 12 to 14 hours a week, but 3 days a week, 4 days a week. So it gets me out of the house, and it gets me out of the house at a good time of the day too. It's like I don't leave my house until 1, and I'm home by 6. So works out really well for me. So I like it.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I am unemployed, or we'll say self-employed. It's a little more it's a little
Yeah.
more pushed.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a very easy trap. Like I live in a basement, and I rent a room. So it's like, all right, get up, basically I'm in front of the computer either writing or editing or doing something. Next thing I know, the day's gone by. It's like, I should have gone out for a walk or something. But if you have
Right.
something external that pulls you out, it makes all the difference.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, my health would be nowhere near, as decent as it is if I were just sitting in the house all day. So plus it's good to, I enjoy the job too. I mean, doing pension consulting is, you're getting people in their best moments. You know what I'm saying? You're getting people looking, and they could see the light at the end of the tunnel, and they know, oh, I'm going to be retired in a couple months. And that's always a very positive thing. I used to do arbitration, which is like people being brought up on charges, teachers being brought up on charges. And most of the time, the charges were founded, so you're dealing with people that are just freaking miserable. And that was a tough job, and, so I didn't like that aspect of it. Even though I like the hearing aspect of it, because you're doing researching, you know, uh, you know, case law and things like that, and doing that part of it I loved. I just didn't like the part of having to deal with a defendant that was, obviously guilty. And it was like I would never make a good defense attorney. but but yeah, it's good to keep busy, whether you're retired, partially employed, unemployed, or whatever. You got to keep things that are going to get you out there a little bit. Going to be doing more YT videos. It's a necessity when publishing content to get wider audience. Plus, I am very opinionated. Yeah. Um, yeah. What's your channel link? You can put it in the private chat to me, and then I can post it. Because if you try posting it, it'll get kicked back as spam.
If you do at your name, it should also. Yeah, let me see. Let me see if I can't. Technobabble. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, was he asking for yours or?
He asked for mine, but he
No.
was also that he wanted to do them, and so I was saying, well, it's tip
All
for
right.
tat.
So
The link
yes,
going.
put yours in a private chat to me, and Technobabble, you could do the same. Give me your email, your YouTube channel link, and then I can post them on the screen here, and then.
He doesn't have any content here. It's all, I guess it's all private, so he's not ready to launch yet. But
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
oh, channel. Okay.
He's starting a new friend. All right, cool. Well, anyway, when it is up and running, reach out to me and I will put it on as one of my featured channels because I've been cycling that, through on my thing. I don't let anybody too big, be on there for too long or whatever, because once they're beyond 5,000 or so, then I cycle them off and I bring on the new guy. Yeah. Now, something I have been considering, and I'm going to do a reveal here. I'm planning on putting together a, let's see, how do I phrase this? Because it's something that I think is kind of unique in a thing. I want to create an OSR, an independent gaming award show kind of thing. Similar to the Ennies, but more player generated, so this isn't judges determining if your game system is popular enough or if it's sold enough or whatever. I want to make it a place where when you see a game is being brought up for an award, it's a game that's actually been played. It's a game that's being run during the convention itself at that time too, because it's going to be both an award show and a showcase of various games that are being run during that session. There'll be panels, there'll be other things as well. And it's all going to be virtual, not looking to launch it until 2028. It's going to be, on tabletop events, and there'll be 2-hour blocks for gaming, so like game demos of it. And if a game system, gets 65 seats filled, and other game systems only got 30 seats filled, well, the 65 is going to win. So it's going to be based on how many people actually wanted to play it, right. And that's how it goes out there. Hey, this year's winner is, X, Y, and Z RPG. And that is based on not its sales, not its weather, but how much people wanted to play it. Because a lot of times I see this thing like on the Ennies, and you'll see these games, and I'll throw out the big one out there, right? Daggerheart. I've been to about 5 conventions since Daggerheart was released. All right, I've seen it over the last 2 years, and probably a little over 5 conventions over the last 2 years. I've seen Daggerheart run twice on 2 tables over, the span of the 5 conventions. So over the span of maybe 120 or more tables, I've seen it run twice. I've seen Dragon Slayer run half a dozen times. I've seen Castles and Crusades run, 30, 40 times, in that time. Shadow Dark 80 times, you know what I'm saying? It's like, even though Shadow Dark wasn't any, winner, and certainly deservingly so, but those other smaller game systems getting a lot more play, and yet they'll never get called up for those things. And when it comes time, for these judges, you get these judges that it's like, did you really play it though? I mean, how are you judging something that you haven't played yourself? And so that's why I'm not going to have judges. I'm going to have just how well did it perform, at the convention or over the last year at numerous conventions, how did it go? So I'm just playing around with it and everything. It's going to be very, very casual, and let it start off and grow from there. And it'll have its own separate Discord server. It's not looking to make any money from it or anything like that. It's just going to be an alternate, view of OSR and independent gaming. It's listed Angry Engine Games. Cool.
Yeah, I just put that in there. Yeah, it's in about 30 subscribers. It's all Shadow Dark content. I think if that's the right one, then yeah, we can sub to it.
Hey, how's it going, Adino? I am feeling much better. Thank you. Morning, everybody. Hope you are healing up. Yes, I am healing up well, Peter. Good to see you. Peter is a great GM, running Savage Worlds at many of the conventions that I go to as well. Great game designer too. He puts out a lot of stuff for, again, Savage Worlds, and so and you're always welcome to come on, Peter, anytime you want. And actually, let me throw up that link there if anybody wants to join in. I could see Monday morning is when my my lawn is going to get cut, so soon you'll be possibly hearing that buzzing going on. Yeah, some roll D20 videos and setting design. Like I said, though, starting something new with a friend, getting the kinks out. Cool.
Yeah, it's a learning process, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I started out. I launched my channel too soon, but you didn't know that at the time. I was just let's just do this and figure it out as I go. And I mean, my first few videos were done entirely on my phone, recorded on my phone, edited on my phone, and it was like, wow, okay, this is not sustainable. So I had to, I had to get a proper computer to do it. I was working on my tablet for a bit, and then because at the time my computer, I had a desktop, it was a PC, but I couldn't get any editing software that I liked. And then finally, it's like iMovie on a Mac, which was what I was using on my phone. So that was a game changer. He's just using iMovie, and then my family for Christmas that year bought me Final Cut. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll use Final Cut. And I had to relearn editing through Final Cut. So it's been this whole process of learning new skills to put out these YouTube videos.
Cool. Now, you're in Toronto, correct?
Yeah.
So you're not too far from Utica. So what's the chances of you getting out to CNY RPG Con in Utica, New York in June?
CNY, that sounds familiar. I think I almost went this year. Utica is just sort of like opposite, just south of Lake Ontario, right? Yeah. Not unlikely. I mean, I'm thinking of doing the convention circuit more next year, and that's actually probably about a 6 or 7 hour drive. I'm estimating off the top of my head because I got to loop around through Buffalo.
Right.
So yeah, not impossible. I want to do more cons. So I'm definitely, I would do Clericon. That's Dungeon Ministers, but that's here at home. I just drive out of the city. I'm possibly going to hit Gary Con. I went to PAX last year, but that was for a card tournament, so I just used it as to while the tournament.
Right.
Get some snapshots. I met the Professor Dungeon Master and Bob the World Builder just randomly, and they were kind enough to do some pictures. But yeah, no, I want to run some games. I want to run a table at Gary Con and hey, so you're not unlikely. I'm not going to commit to it. I want to look it up, but
yeah, definitely look into it. I think that you would love it. Same thing, Peter. You have to try to get out to CNY RPG Con. You would absolutely love it. I think that Savage Worlds or Mothership, either or, will do great there. And vendors do very well there as well. If you were going to, do a vending table and run some games and everything, that is like one of my go-to cons now. Definitely within my top 3 that I will go to every single time that I get a chance to, unless something gets in the way. I mean, that falls into the same category as ShireCon in Connecticut, which I won't be able to go to next year because I'll have to go to a Canadian wedding in Toronto, just outside Toronto. So
let me know when you're here.
Yeah. I was like, I wish I could escape and do some gaming. I'd rather.
Often what I do is,
no offense given, but the Canadians don't know how to throw food, at parties or whatever. They're just, I don't know. It's I guess I'm too spoiled with Italian weddings.
Them's fighting words.
I know. It's like
you're gonna get poutine to the face.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind poutine. It's like I wouldn't mind poutine. At least I can go with some fries and gravy. But
what I was about to say is often when I know somebody's coming in from out of town, I try to rearrange the schedule so that, well, not that we have a big advanced schedule, but we try to arrange a day so that guests can come into my games. So it's like one of those things, if you know you're traveling and you're going to be in Toronto and there's an advance notice, let me know. And then if you want to sit in, you can do that.
Yeah, so let's see. So Techno Babel is going to Gamehole this year, Gary Con, TTRP Con, and CNY next year. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, CNY next year, I'm going to be, I just changed my ShireCon schedule too. So I'm running 2 sessions of the game, same game. So that's, I'm running Hyperborea 3rd edition, an adaptation of Red Nails, Conan story, Red Nails. I just got all the figures and everything like that, so I'm looking to send those out. Bear, how's it going? You have a fellow Canadian here.
So, well, Canadian. Yeah, we get more over. Done. We get more done before 10 a.m. than most people get done before 10 a.m. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you, man. We're just up. We're awake. It's Canada. It's hot.
Well, you'll be jealous. I've got air conditioning. It's like a meat locker in here. I got to put a sweater on.
I have air conditioning, just not at this end of the apartment where my computer is. It's all at the other end of the apartment where I sleep and my living room is.
Well, definitely looking forward to seeing you there, Peter. We have to get Bear to CNY also. Oh, come on, you can do it.
So here's the reality that you guys in the States don't understand. When we cross the border now, there is a new border law in place that says we have to turn over all electronic devices and our passwords, which they will scan at the border to see if we've posted any anti-governmental or anything they deem inappropriate. If the border guard deems what they find on your electronic device inappropriate, you are immediately banned from entry into the United States of America. That is a permanent ban. You cannot appeal that ban. All it takes is one border guard not liking one thing you may have posted on Facebook or wherever, and now you're banned forever from the United States. So we're going to wait, a lot of us, until your current government becomes a more rational government that remembers we're your best friend and not some crazy evil person who lives north of you. Nothing personal, but so I don't go to the States till this is resolved. And none of my other friends do either. We used to go shopping all the time across the border in Plattsburgh, all the time. We don't go anymore. Haven't gone.
Maybe there's Quebecois, because when I fly out to Seattle from Pearson, it's like, hey,
flying is different than driving. Flying is a very different beast than driving. When I've flown to the States, it's been a wonderful experience. Every time I have to deal with a boots on the ground border guard, different story. So wait, Lacole up here.
Yeah, and there might be a
massive one.
It's
not a Quebecois thing because I know people it's happened to in British Columbia. So stop being a cunt from Ontario and think you're being funny about it.
Well, I guess we're just liked here because when I cross at the Peach, they're like,
yeah, no, you're Ontarians. They think you're Americans because that's all Toronto wants to be is New York City. You guys don't even have your own fucking identity anymore. The big smoke T-dot. Oh, yeah. No one likes Toronto. Like, you need to understand that in the entire country, you are surrounded by everybody who hates Toronto. It's like the worst relationship this country has ever had.
That's because they've never been here. When they come here, they love it.
We find the people so friendly, so warm, so no one ever looks at you strangely when you ask them for directions. Like, why dare you talk to them? Never happens. Never happens. No.
Hey, never.
Never.
7 a.m. there. Oh yeah. You're in California, so.
Bear's on the list. I'm on the list, baby. I'm not allowed into the U.S. because I'm on the list.
Bear is on the list, yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the conventions that I will be going to.
CNY's in Utica, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's about 4 or 5 hours from me.
Yeah, it's not far.
Very far. It's 4 or 5 hours. It's like going to see this guy in Toronto.
Come on, even my old ass can drive 4 or 5 hours.
I don't drive. I don't have a license. I don't own a car. So I'm going to be taking a bus, I guess. And oh boy, Greyhound. That sounds like a fun trip. No thanks.
Secret camera on that bus, listening to Bear interact with people. Although you're very personable in person, you're not as grumpy.
I'm a very personable human being. People just want to think I'm a jerk because I have opinions and I'm not afraid to state them. It's amazing, especially with Americans. I always get I understand when Canadians get that way about me because we're never allowed to have opinions in Canada. My God, no. How dare you have an opinion? We're polite. What are you talking about? You thought something? No, shut up. This is Canada. But Americans, you guys are like the kings of, these are my balls. Look at them. Can you get a whiff? Like, you guys are kings of that. Yet I get, not a lot, but a certain amount of Americans really dislike me because I have opinions. It's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, I don't mind opinions at all.
I never said mine are all right. I just said they're mine. That's all.
Everyone's entitled to their opinions. I am a free speech absolutionist. All right.
Yeah, I'm not that far.
Yeah. I couldn't give a shit what anybody says. You know. I mean, I used to run forums. You know, like those the old pro board forums and everything. I remember those things like pro boards and YABC and all those things. I've had people come in and be like, "You don't moderate this at all." They were like, people could say whatever they want on here. I was like, yeah, that's kind of the point, right? It's a freaking message board forum. People come in and say whatever the hell they want. I mean, as long as it is not blatantly illegal, what they're posting, I don't care what you say. You could say whatever, you know, because someone might say, "Oh, that's racist," and others won't say the same thing. They won't feel the same way or whatever. So it's like, no, let it go. As long as you're not, you know, espousing, you know, desires to harm a child or do something, you know, overthrow the government or anything like that, go right ahead. Enjoy.
We're not allowed to overthrow the government? Man.
Not verbally, you're not.
Man.
Yeah.
What about talking about voting the government out? Does that count as overthrowing? Because there's still
no, it does not. No, it does not, because it's using the legal, you know, what gets you in trouble when you say, hey, let's go home and get our poo-poo, and now let's go and overthrow that. That's going to run you into trouble.
It's so funny because, like, I'm pro-gun, but even I get a little fucking disturbed when I hear some of the guys I talk to going on about their guns in the States. I'm like, oh, Jesus, I'm pro-gun. You know, like, I got this gun, I got that gun, I got this gun over here, and I'm like, why? What war are you fighting? Why do you need 18 guns in your house? What's going on? But you know,
it's because we can.
People like their toys. If it's not a gun, it'll be something else.
Well, and as I've said many, many fucking times of late, thank God for you guys. Because as bad as you think you are, and there's a lot of you who think your government's out of control, your society's out of control, you are still leaps and bounds ahead the rest of us on the freedom scale. Because you look at what's happening in my country, his country, you look at what's happening in the UK, Australia, like all these first world, formerly very free nations are becoming very unfree. And now the grand debate is, can the RCMP arrest you? Well, not arrest you, but visit you for online posts in Canada now. This is now a debate we're having. It's like, this should not be a debate. This should be a no. The answer should be no. Like, where's the debate? So God bless you guys. Get all the guns you need. Do what you got to do.
If anyone had ever broken into my home and I was forced to defend my home,
yeah,
the thing I would most like to defend my home with is that sword right behind me. Just so that the headline is, you know, violent intruder slain by Conan's father's sword. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that would be the headline, you know.
I doubt that would be the headline. The headline would be more like, you know, recluse kills man with sword.
Yeah.
Crom finds man worthy.
Yeah, that would be the best headline right there. Position in Valhalla secured.
Yeah,
says man.
The homeowner knew the riddle of steel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I really like we're not even allowed to defend ourselves here anymore.
Actually,
it's crazy.
It was a couple of years ago. Somebody broke into someone's home. I forget where, and the guy attacked him with a battle axe.
Up in his part of the world, there was a guy that broke into his home and got beaten for
it. He attacked him with a battle axe.
and they brought charges against the Canadian for defending his home for excessive use of force. I'm sorry. Someone has broken into my home with an intent to do harm. There's no such thing as the word excessive in that force I apply. You know,
excessive force means that you've exceeded your intentions. All right. If you break into my home, my intention is to end you. All right. There's no possibility of excess. If that's the end result, you know, that's the bottom line. So it's you don't want to break into my home. One time I had a kid, a student, you know, one of my eighth graders and everything. And a lot of my eighth graders, they were, they were already in gangs and stuff like that, and so
Yeesh.
they were like, "Hey, Mr. Salati, what would happen if?" And this kid, I love this kid. He was a great kid. "Hey, Mr. Salati, what would happen if I broke into your house?" I'd say, "I shoot you." He said, "You'd shoot me?" I was like, "Well, no, I might shoot twice." But I was like, for the most part, yeah, I would shoot you. I mean, there's no doubt about it, because anybody breaking into my home is a threat to my family. Number one, I don't care what their intentions are. I don't know their intentions, so I'm going to assume the worst, and I'm going to deal the worst. And he just like laughed it off and everything like that. He knew I was joking with him, but he knew that it was also serious, with it, and he was cool with it. So that's just my take on that kind of a thing. It's like, don't break into my home. It will not go well for you. I also recently put a comment, and I was like, and don't break in like in the middle of the night, because I'm going to wait till my lawyer's office is open before I make any phone calls, so you'll be bleeding out for a long time. All right. And then they'll be like, "Well, why'd you wait until, 10 o'clock in the morning to make the 911 call?" Well, first I had to check my perimeter and make sure that everything was secure. I had to make sure that my family had, been evacuated to a safe space. And then I'd have to redouble check, that. And then, my nerves were still high. So, I needed to, sit down, have a cup of coffee, catch my breath, and by then it was already 9 o'clock. And I figured, let me call my lawyer. And now that's why I'm calling you.
You're
I
a
would
good host. You offered him some
that
of that
thing out
tea.
forever. What's that?
Had a game of. You were a good host. You offered him while he bled out some tea and some. You had a game of
Yeah.
chess.
Yeah.
Time. And, calm him
Asked
down.
if you ever played D&D,
Yeah.
You rolled him up a character. His teeth's a little covered in
You
blood.
need to
But
roll up a new character.
Yeah, exactly. Here, look, I got some pre-mates for you. Just pick one.
Yeah.
hey! Don't get blood on the books. These are vintage.
Hey, quit gurgling. What's wrong with you? Enunciate.
I know, Bear, but we slid backward.
Yes, I believe I clearly was making the point that my country is a failed state. I don't know where you would take that I was criticizing America in there. I was not criticizing you. You scare me. You're creepy people sometimes. Love you. Love you to tears. Literally, no joke, based just on numbers.
Yeah.
More Americans have had my back when I was a bouncer than Canadians ever did. I was working in Vancouver. It was the night I tore the meniscus in a bar fight in my right knee. And the USS Constellation was in port. And suddenly my bar had 250 sailors in it. And at the start of the night, the shore patrol guy came up to me and says, "Hey, listen, if any of my boys screw up, instead of calling the cops, would you mind giving me a call?" Now, I have military family, so I'm like, yeah, no worries, because I know they're going to get it way worse from the military than they ever would from us, right? Like misbehaving in a foreign country, especially Canada, oh, you're in trouble now. Like, yeah, no problem. Tear my meniscus, whatever. The other two bouncers have to leave for an hour because we're doing an after hours. And they're like, "We got to go check everything." I'm like, "Guys, I'm fucking limping." And they're like, "Oh, we got to go." I'm like, "All right, fine." I'm sitting on the stool at the front having a cigarette. I've been limping around the bar. These two sailors walk up to me. One guy just goes, "So, you got a bad wheel, eh?" Or, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Huh, okay." And he walks away, and that's it. 10 minutes later, this asshole one of these fucking local assholes starts fucking with my waitress, right? So I hobble my ass over to the table. I'm like, "Buddy, you are out. You are leaving now." And he looks at my knee, literally, looks at me and goes, "What are you going to do about it?" And he stands up. And behind him, 50 sailors stood at one time. And I just went, "I ain't going to do shit, but they're going to kill you." And he looks and goes, I'm leaving. And he leaves. So for me, more Americans have had my back in my life than any amount of Canadians I can think of. So I have no issue with America. Trust me. Just not a big fan of your crazy border laws right now.
Yeah. I love going to Canada. I've always enjoyed going to Canada. I'm just not a big fan of their wedding food. But other than that, it's like
their wedding food.
Yes.
Yeah, before he came on, he was bitching about how the food is in Canada when he goes to weddings.
It's
You're
not
going to the wrong weddings, man. Because I've been to, go to some Italian weddings. The food's amazing.
not compared to New York Italian weddings.
Montreal Italians are very much like New York Italians. Our Greeks and our Italians are very similar people, man. They all came over at the same time from the same place. Trust me.
Well,
maybe it's an Ontario thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an Ontario thing.
Toronto Italians might be a little different. Remember, my family up there is in like Barrie and just outside Toronto.
Yeah, that's a very different part of the world than say Montreal, right? Like this is Ontario's a very much so Canada's idea of the mosaic really fails in Ontario.
Yeah.
Right? Everywhere else, it's a mosaic. People just act like themselves are. Ontario, for some reason, everybody tries to suddenly become Ontarioan. It's really funny. Like it's like the Sikhs in Montreal are like super Sikhs. The Sikhs in Vancouver are like ultra super Sikhs.
Yeah.
The Sikhs in Toronto are like buying beautiful houses in Brampton, and we're very Canadian now. It's like, what's going on in Ontario?
Yeah, I have to see exactly what neighborhood my wife's aunts and uncles live in, but their kids all live on the outside, just outside of there. But yeah.
Sean, do you have any family in Barrie?
No.
Okay, cool. I can say this then. I can say this. Barrie is the strangest, not fun place in Ontario I've ever been in my life. Barrie is such it's what if a strip mall became a town? That's how Barrie always feels to me.
With regular tornado warnings.
Yeah,
which is also weird because it's north of the city,
Now our cousins there, because there's on my wife's side they're all Sicilian, and then the Barrie husband, he's Greek. So and they had a Greek restaurant and everything. That food was good. We went to his Greek restaurant.
Nice.
And yeah, that was very, very good. Probably.
But he didn't cater the wedding.
No,
he didn't cater the wedding.
He didn't cater the wedding. The wedding was, like I said, it was like downtown Toronto, in a big hotel, and it just wasn't. Was the hotel catering it? Maybe. Yeah, it probably was. Yeah. So it just wasn't up to up to par.
Well, if you had bland hotel food, then yeah.
Yeah, it was bland.
Also, no one goes to Toronto for the food. Now, they're going to go to Toronto for the food before they're going to go to Vancouver for the food. Let me tell you that for sure, because the food in Vancouver is terrible. But, when you think about food cities in Canada, like really, and I'm not trying to break my arm, Montreal ranks top. Like it's just considered a food city because of the amount of different types of food we have here. Right? It's like insane, and it's good stuff.
It's starting to sound like an international incident. Yes, it is.
Canada and the U.S. cannot have international incidents. We can have familial incidents. We're brothers for fuck's sake.
International incest? What?
Yes,
we do that too. Yeah, we do a lot of that between Canada and the U.S.
So let's get back to gaming. So the gaming scene in Canada, you have Claricon, correct?
That's it.
Yeah.
There's that other one in not Brampton, in what's the place on the others? Burlington. There's that new one, Dave Con or John Con or something.
Dave Con is
no. It's named after some guy here, and it's like
Dave Arneson.
No. Here, there's a con that's named after a guy. It's like John Con or Bob Con.
Oh, yeah. I heard about it. Yeah, I recently heard that.
Yeah, Father Aaron was posting about it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there isn't a lot. Breakout Con. Breakout Con is actually fairly big.
Where's that?
That's in Toronto's downtown in March.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of gaming cons here, to be honest.
Then you
spread out.
You have the one in Nova Scotia, right? The Halifax. What's that?
Halicon?
Halifon or
Halicon? Yeah.
Halicon.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I was born there. I don't know about that. Like,
There's a big one in Edmonton that happened last month, I think, as well.
Oh yeah.
But it was Edmonton. I spent a week there one day. I don't want to go back.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's how I feel about Sarnia and Sault Ste. Marie. Spent a week there 1 month, and I don't want to go back. The problem is we're so spread out. That's always going to be our problem, right? Like we're very, very distant from each other. You guys, you can throw a con in the middle of the Midwest, and everybody can drive to it from all their parts of access, right? Us, you throw a con in Toronto, well, that's 5 to 10 hours for most people that don't live in the greater Toronto area to get there. So most people just go,
About 5 to 10 hours for people who do live in the Toronto area.
Well, that's true too, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the same for New York. New York is a huge state, and you could literally travel 10 hours and not leave the border of New York yet. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If you went from the tip of Long Island to Buffalo, let's say, I mean, you're driving 10 hours.
Mhm.
You know, so it's a, you know, New York is a huge state, and you know, I'm lucky that Utica is only 2 hours and 45 minutes away. But that
Yeah.
same 2 hours and 45 minutes, I could drive to basically Maryland, you know, in
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
same time period. You know, I can cross 3 states to get there, you
Yeah.
know. So it's, and New York is not even the biggest state. I mean, obviously, Texas is the largest of the states. Maybe Alaska is bigger than Texas. I don't know, never will know. But, you know, I'm sure they're both probably 15 hours to cross the state.
Technobabble says from Chicago, best food ever. Yeah, I believe you. It's 100% you, Jagoff.
Yeah.
Love Chicago. I love Chicago. I think Chicago is like the last American city that you guys have. Like, it just, every time I talk to people from Chicago, it just feels like, oh yeah, this place hasn't changed much in like 80 years. It's pretty much the same basic city at the end of the day. And I like that. They have a big food festival down there, don't they? Like every year there's
Oh
the
yeah,
International
yeah.
Food
Chicago
Festival.
is well known
It's
for its food.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a really good festival too, and more than just sausage, right?
Yeah,
So that's
yeah. Chicago. I mean, New York will always be a food, you know, a food mecca as well. Um, you know, there's cities, you know, Philadelphia is you know, reputed to have very good food as
Hmm.
well. Great food place, mostly like fast food and Italian and that kind of stuff. It's not, you know, you go to Maryland and you're going there for crabs. I mean, you're basically going there for blue crab and that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, you know, Maine, you're going for lobster rolls, and every state seems to have its like its food of choice kind of item that it seems to showcase well. But things beyond that, they just lose it.
Well,
Um,
it's like I heard you guys talking about Putin when I showed up, and it's funny because when I was in college in the '90s, I went to radio school in Ontario because there was no English version in Quebec, so there's no place I could go. And we were at a restaurant, and I wanted to get a Putin, and they had no idea what I'm talking about. This is like 91, 92. They're like, and I'm like, okay, do you have French fries? I said, yeah. I said, do you have like a brown gravy? They said, yeah. I said, do you have, I don't know, mozzarella cheese? I said, yeah. I said, great. Can you put that all together on a plate for me? They went, no. I was just like, why not? This is so
Because it's
weird.
a crime against nature.
Apparently, now it's the national food of Canada. It's like,
Yeah.
no. 30 years ago, it was like impossible to find outside of Quebec in the Maritimes. It was so weird. Oh yeah, Paul, it's gotten violent at the taste of Chicago. Well, there you go. But anyway, so back to the con thing. The point is, you guys have so much interconnectivity between each other in your states. You can
Mhm.
drop a con somewhere and get access from a lot of places. Most for Canada is a straight line, east to west, right? Like just
Right.
take the train to Canada and that's it. So we don't get that kind of cross proliferation the way you guys do. So it makes it hard for cons to be successful here, really.
Yeah.
I'd love for there to be some good cons in this country I could go to. I'd like, you know, it'd be easy to get to, but they wouldn't be. It'd be like, oh, I'm going to Edmonton. Ah, if I'm driving, that's 2 days. If I'm flying, that's, you know, it's just like
3 days.
no.
Right? It's like,
Well, yeah, because I'm going to have to go to the States, fly somewhere close, and then drive up to save money, you know? I mean, good
yeah.
God.
Yeah, you could take the train. It's a nice
I'm-
tip, but 3 days.
Wait, think I made a money? I could take the train? And
That's only
that's a
3K.
$600
Well, that's like
one-way trip.
guys, that's like flying out of New York. Anytime that you're going out of freaking JFK or you know any of the New York City airports and everything, tack on 5 hours of travel time to the flight time, you know, and tack on hundreds of dollars worth of cost to get there, to get back, you know, to park your car, to do all of that on top of all of that other nonsense. It became, I wanted to go to Gary Con like 2 years ago, like when it first opened up after COVID, maybe 3 years ago, whatever it was. And the trip to Gary Con was going to cost me something like $1,400. Me by myself, $1,400. I'm like, no, I can't do it. Can't justify it. And that might even have been before some of the, all of the actual hotel stay. Just flying there alone was going to cost $800 each way. No, round trip, $800 round trip. It's like a 2-hour flight. I was like, for $800 round trip, then $100 to get there, $100 to get home. So now I'm at $1,000. I haven't even set foot in the venue yet. Didn't even buy the ticket yet. It was crazy, So I was like, no, never getting out there. Looked at driving. Driving is 15 hours. I'm like, no, not going to get out there. So I have pretty much limited myself now down to, if it's a 4-hour drive, I'll go. If it's a two-night stay, at least one night stay, right? So I won't go to a one-day convention that is more than an hour and a half away.
Well, that's fair.
It just doesn't make sense. If you're don't tell me it's going to be 3 hours to get there. I'm going to spend 6 hours at the convention and then 3 hours to get home. Just not doing that. So everything now to me has gotten, my local has becoming narrower and narrower, over time. So it's like the most I'll push out to is like 4-hour road trip. And I'm staying there 2 nights, basically to get 2 full convention days, and then I'm leaving. And my limit on conventions too, I will never spend more than 2 nights at a convention, because anytime I've spent 3 nights at a convention, I've come home with a cough, and then I get my wife and kids on me. Oh, was it worth it? Was it worth it? You came home with you're coughing now for a week. Nothing worse was from, page 2 when I came home with the flu A, and I was sick for 10 days after the convention, and I missed a full week's worth of work after the convention. So it's like that almost ended all of my convention going as far as my wife and kids were concerned, so it's like, oh no, it was just a weird year, never going back, I tried to make it, it was about there and that time and everything. But I've since
dope up on the vitamin C before you go.
Yeah, it's like a flu shot before I go, or do all of that stuff. I don't need that stuff. What helped me a lot was I came out of the hospital with a cough, and I was like, I see, it's not just conventions. It's any place you spend,
It's just me. It's just me.
Away. Yeah, it's me. It's nothing to do with conventions. It's just not sleeping at home, and the relaxation of home. I come home with a cough.
Fair. Very fair. I go to ClareCon. It's the only one I like going to, and I like it because it's small, it's friendly. Everybody's been twice. Have yet to have an asshole. It's like, oh, look at this. This is so nice. Nobody cosplays
going in too. Yeah.
No fucking cosplayers, in the way doing their cosplay bullshit. It's like, it's really nice. It's about gaming. It's about the gaming. It's really fun. Fun. Nice people too. The vendors are pretty reasonable. There's one guy the first year I was there, the prices he wrote on his books for sale, we were all looking at them because we're flipping through. We're like, is this guy fucking like Noble Knight Mobile? Like, what's going on with these prices? Like, he's crazy. He's not getting this money, And I noticed he didn't come back last year. I guess it wasn't worth it for him. Oh well. But that's a good con. You should come sometime. You'd enjoy it.
So leaving town tonight, Dan, need to get me a beef before I go. That sounds very intimate.
Yeah, seriously, what the hell are you talking about? You have to have a fight with someone? What do you mean a beef?
Okay.
Yeah, ClareCon is actually only 2 months away now. It's like it's creeping up fast.
Yep.
I got to make my usual arrangements, and I think John is 99% going. He hasn't sent me his itinerary yet, but he's crashing with me for the week again. So
I'm going, but it might be complicated for me because my ride up might not be the ride back because he has to do a day in Toronto. Maybe he'll let me know, and I can't do a day in Toronto.
What's your cat's name?
This is Beans.
Beans. Okay, just
This
making
is
sure it
Beans.
wasn't H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name.
No, it was not. No. An Italian beef sandwich, you uncultured swine. What the hell was he talking about?
Mhm.
Oh,
Cosplay has got to go.
I
Play
agree.
dress up elsewhere.
Take care, Cal.
Yeah, take care, Cal. Have a good one. Let's see, Italian beef sandwich.
You uncultured swine.
Bye.
Goodbye. Yeah, don't live with him, Cal. He's not a great cat. He's a pain in the ass constantly.
Remember Johnny Carson?
He loves you because you feed him.
Yes. No, that's his brother. Come up, Misty. You want to come up? Misty loves me because I feed him. Beans loves me because Beans loves me. Promise is Beans is a very codependent, needy love cat. Like he's like, I need all the attention now. And it's like, okay, fuck off. Whereas brother, it's just when he wants food.
So anyway, what you have going on gaming this week, Sean?
Yeah.
Nothing this week. I'm making videos this week, but next week we're actually doing a special session of the Old School Essentials campaign because we're packing up and going up to the Dungeon Minister's place, and we're going to run a game for him and his kids.
Oh wow.
So yeah, sort of a special crossover event. And my Night Below game, which is we were planning to be like 20 sessions in by this point in the year. We're 6 because 2 people had 3-week vacations end to end instead of overlapping. So we lost like 2 months of play because then other schedules interrupted with that. It was like, this is normally the consistent group, and we lost the entire summer. So, but that'll be back now, in 2 weeks. But yeah, OSE and AD&D. That's what I run. And
Bear, what are you're running something, what, Monday nights?
No, I have a bi-weekly Monday night the girls game. I have a weekly Sunday night game. I have a bi-weekly Saturday game, and I have a bi-weekly Thursday game.
Yeah, so that's a lot of
and
fun.
it's all the same game. It's all this
Heroic 5e.
Heroic.
Yep. It's all my baby that we're playtesting. This is a playtest copy, obviously, but
I don't know. Shadow plays with you, correct?
Nope.
Oh, he doesn't.
Nope.
Oh.
Shadow played with me once, and we came to the conclusion that Shadow and I shouldn't play together because we have very different play styles.
It's sometimes it's funny. It's funny how people will just not fit in or mesh. Like in some groups or some games, game systems and everything, they're great, and in others, it's like, oh no, it's not working out well.
Yeah, not every player is for every table.
Yeah,
exactly. And
yeah,
it wasn't that Shadow's a bad player or anything. It's just our play styles are very different.
Yeah, it's Shadow's been playing with me for years now, but there's been some game systems that just don't mesh well, and for me too. It's like I've started and ended quite a number of campaigns because I found that the game system, after about 12 weeks, I start seeing all of its flaws, and I'm like, there's got to be a better game system. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just don't like the game systems anymore. So it's like after 12, 16 weeks, it's like, you know what, I'm not feeling this anymore. I'm always looking for that great experience, for all of us at the table. But some rule systems they fall apart when you start really digging into them and you start getting experience with them. I had that with Amazing Adventures from Troll Lord Games. I mean, Castles and Crusades, I absolutely love. They tried to take a generic system and port over, and reskin Castles and Crusades with a generic system, but with all of the character classes and all of that kind of stuff. It's like, it doesn't work. You can't have a universal system that's class-based. I'm sure others might disagree with me, but a universal system should be a skills-based system. That way you can, kind of piece it together and create your characters with their powers and everything like that. The other thing I run into with players with those kinds of systems is, especially like superhero kind of games, is like, I tell them, I was like, no, I don't want you to randomize your characters because you never get anything that makes sense. It was like your superhero character, you have 5 powers, make them make sense. Come up with a theme that you want. If you're not going to be fire based, acid based and electric based. All right, those 3 things do not go together.
Wait. What were they? They were fire, electrical, and acid?
Yeah.
Camistro. My character's name is Camistro. I fire napalm, I fire acid, and I fire, what was the other one? It was acid and electrical. And I'm able to, I'm Camistro. Fuck you. Makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. I will fight you, brother. I am the expert on superheroes. I will fight you on this hill. No, that's the same thing. I didn't put random character creation in Heroic 5e. There's no random. Fuck you.
No, it's like, give me your character concept. Develop a character concept around these 5 powers that you want to have. And that's it. Don't give me this nonsense of things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
And what makes sense is fairly subjective too. We're playing a game where you're a human with powers. Already, you're beyond the sensical. So, I mean, that is just a matter of seeing what happens. I love randomizing things.
No, shut up. You never.
Even back in the day when I ran Heroes Unlimited, it was half the fun was, what did I get? I got karmic power. Fuck.
Ooh, a mega dungeon. Hang on, stop. My penis can only get so erect.
Yeah. That's actually an interesting thing because they're crowdfunding. And this came up, Bolt Paints Minis was on my Discord, and he mentioned another Kickstarter that's launching now. And he says, but it doesn't seem to get traction. All right. So this is something I want to put out there to anybody that is looking to crowdfund. At this time of the year in the States, I don't know anywhere else or whatever, or maybe it's just a local thing and it's just my experience alone. In the United States, school taxes and property taxes come up at the end of September. All right. So if your crowdfunder is ending in August or any time in July, any time in September, it's not going to fund well. People aren't going to back it because we got those big bills coming up, at the end of September. All right.
Is this across the U.S. or is this just local to New York?
Because the fiscal year in the United States is October 1st, right? It starts with October and ends with, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and that's when most schools start issuing out their things and everything, their property tax bill. I get my property taxes in September. The end of September, I get the bill.
But still, that's good to know for people. Yeah.
It's like, there's a reason why. And plus people are starting to, we got to save up for the holidays, right? And that usually takes about 3 months if you have a decent sized family and everything. And it's like, all right, well, we got to start saying, a lot of times you're not working full time, or at least I certainly don't during the summertime. And we have other things like our oil companies do like that stretch goaling, out over there. And then you do catch up in August too. So you'll get like an extra bill, even though you hadn't been running oil for like the last 3-4 months. It's like, oh, well, here's your bubble payment for the last 3 months or whatever. And electric bills do the same thing and everything. It is just the worst time of the year to start or end a Kickstarter. So it's like, just stop doing it. It's a bad time of the year. And maybe you'll do better. But another we had these other ones like the wondrous consortiums, from Agile Monk, and his company or anything. I was like, I backed that, and I backed it at like $160. And guess what? The last payment was this month. It was like they made sure it was all done by They started it at the beginning of the summertime so you can get through it.
Right.
The other ones was like Professor Dungeon Masters was the one I was like, okay, I'm going to back this because, I really do think that this will be a game system that I see played in the wild. And so I want a copy of it. I almost backed out of it. And then I was like, but I got the first 48 hour bonus. So I said, I'm going to keep it in there. It's only $40 a month for 4 months. I'm probably already paid off on it too, because I already think they, once they hit the goal, they start taking the money, which is a big help too. You know what I'm saying? Instead of waiting until the whole thing is done. No, once you hit your goal, start collecting the 40, whatever it's going to be, the overtime thing. So it makes it a little bit easier too. But I was like, yeah, it's like, you have to be cognizant of what else is going on, financially for people at that time of the year. I'm not saying all Kickstarters need to be within, around tax time kind of thing. It's like, February through June might be the most ideal time to do your crowdfunding. But yeah, I mean, that's probably the best time of the year to do crowdfunding is between February and June.
Not that I do a lot of crowdfunding, but yeah, if you're after the people in the US, that's an important consideration.
Yeah. So it's like, but I always get into the thing that it's like, you know what, it's time to reevaluate what I'm going to back, what I'm going to actually, because I want to back things that I expect to see being run or I will run myself. And if I'm not going to actually ever run the darn thing, I'm not buying it. That's something I've had to, certainly isolate myself down to and say, not buying games anymore just to put on my shelf.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I bet you've run all of those.
Well, it's all mostly D&D. This is the stuff I'm at.
I'm saying, it's like
second ed. I'm retired from second ed. It's just leftover from when I played it. But yeah, I'm currently running OSE and First E. So then fifth ed, I ran enough to get the feel for it, and like I'm retired out of that. And the rest is just like modules and supplements and things like that. So yeah. I bought them for use, but yes.
Yeah, like as I've been going through my shelf tour, and I'm around like 250 things on my shelf now that I've already covered. And I started to realize I was like I came across some games. I was like, oh, damn, I forgot I even had this thing, because I had not run it, not even reviewed it yet. And I was like, no, you know what I want to do? I want to slow down. I want to just buy things that I am going to run. And as I go through time, once I get my work schedules and everything sorted out, I'm going to dedicate like one day a week where, a morning session. Hey, if you want, I'm going to run this in the morning. And if you want to come in, it'll be a 2-hour session just to give you the feel of the game and just run a real quick scenario and just churn through my bookshelf and eventually hit everything that I have on there. It'll take me a long time to do it, but it's probably about half of my collection, maybe a little less than half of my collection that I've never run before. And so that's what I want to do. I want to at least say, hey, I've run Mothership. I've played it, but I haven't run it yet. So I've run Mothership once. I've run, I don't think I'll ever get around to running Dune. That's something that I'll probably end up clearing off my shelf and selling. Unused, completely unused. It's like,
don't even take it out of the sell it as is.
Yeah, I'll just take it off the shelf and bring it there. Hey, here you go. Here's Dune, the entire thing, because I've never seen that being run anywhere either. So I just think it's too lore intensive.
I've always said the same thing. I don't understand what kind of a campaign you're going to run in a Dune game. The universe was literally designed to tell one story.
Yeah.
Literally. Everything in the universe is related to one story.
Yeah.
So what are you going to be, the other Kwisatz Haderach? Like what?
It's almost like Lord of the Rings. I mean, I have a hard time wrapping my head around how do you run a Lord of the Rings, campaign without dealing with, the ring, without the, having that
But
impact on the campaign.
Middle Earth can at least be a setting. It's rich. It's got diversity. Like you can have any number of events in Middle Earth that don't tie into the main Lord of the Rings storyline. But Doom.
Yeah, I would bring it all back into the Second Age then.
Right.
See, I'd go Fourth Age. I'd actually do something after the War of the Rings.
Yeah, you could do Fourth Age as well. Yeah.
Actually, I have a whole campaign I want to run doing that. I got to just learn one ring, I guess.
Yeah. What are you going to run that with?
Probably One Ring.
One Ring? Which I have. I have One Ring.
Well, they were nice enough to send me a review copy, so I guess I reviewed it. Maybe I should use it sometime,
Yeah, so, I would like to do that. Well, they sent you a review copy.
Yeah, I got on their review list when I had about 2,500 subs. Actually, when I had about 1,000 subs, I got on their review list through. And then another YouTuber who was on, he said, "Yeah, I just reached out to this guy. This is the questionnaire." And boom, I did it. And it was like, boom, they happily threw me on their review list. And then they went from in-house promotions to a promotions company, and I fell off the review list.
Yeah.
So for shits and giggles this year, I reached out to them and said, "Hey, I used to be on the review list. I don't know what happened. I dropped off." And they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry that happens. Things when the transition. Here's the thing." And then since then, I've gotten the entire Blade Runner line, One Ring, Vaesen, Invincible, and a bunch of stuff for Dragon Bane. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, Free League are the best friend to YouTubers. They will give you stuff happily to review. They love giving out stuff for you to review. Where WotC, Chaosium, you got to jump through hoops for these guys. You know what I mean? Like, and if you don't have X amount of subs, they're not interested in talking to you. It's like, it's amazing.
Yeah. I'd rather just find a game system that I want to play, and I'll buy it.
I just write them now.
And then I have them come, I'll have them come on, talk about their Kickstarter at the time, and here's the Kickstarter. I'm a backer. I backed it, and if you want to send me a free PDF, so before the review, fine. I'll take a free PDF. Sure.
Well, so I just said I write my own games now, right? Like I don't run anything anybody else publishes. I run my own stuff. So that said, Sean's going to chuckle at me right now. I'm debating currently thinking about doing my own D&D clone finally. Now that I've done Heroic 5e and it works, I'm like, well, I could do my own D&D clone now. Yeah, there. Something else I've said we don't need another of. I'll make my own. I'll throw my hat into the pool of we don't need any more of these.
That's what I chuckle at. Not that you're diving into D&D, but that you were after shitting on it all these years, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do a D&D clone.
I didn't say I would. I said I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, but that's still a step.
I won't. I already wrote one. Sean, you've never seen my BX Revised?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done. I wrote one. I never published it, but I wrote one.
That's
pretty easy to do.
Yeah, Paul,
BX, right? You just changed.
No. God, no.
The other thing, Paul, is the reason why I backed it was because I have met Professor Dungeon Master at a convention. He recognized me right away. We had several conversations over the, at least 3 conversations over the the one weekend time. One of them, he actually came up to me in a line. I was in Frank Metzner's line, to meet Frank again, because I had several conversations with him as well, played in his game. And, Dan came up to me. It was like, "Hey, Rich, how's it going?" Blah, 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 and started talking again because we knew we had a 40-minute line or whatever. So very, very pleasant guy. Former, same thing, former teacher and everything. So, now would he come on my channel ever? Probably not, but my channel is kind of in between small. And so he's been doing like really small channels, like 500 or less, but I think my channel might be, or my presentation might be a little bit too controversial, which I understand. I know that some people will.
Wait a minute. You think you're controversial?
No, they think that I might be too controversial.
People think you're controversial?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Christ, that must be the devil by comparison.
Yeah.
Holy
No,
shit.
no, they, believe it or not, I do, because I push back on some of those people. You know what I'm saying? Like I push back on some of those, like when Green Ronin and what's his name, Chris Pramis was crying about, oh, our stuff is being taken over by Diamond, Diamond Publishing, or
Distributing.
distributors, and we need people to just buy our products now, to help us recoup some of what we're going to lose by them stealing our inventory. And so I responded to that little, e-begging that he was doing with, well, don't you remember back in like 2016 and 2017 when you were telling all those people, don't buy our stuff if you voted this way or you believe this way? I was like, I just want you to remember that when you told me personally, like in a DM on Facebook, I'm banning you, don't buy my stuff ever, and whatever. So I was like, so now you're crying and moaning, oh, we're going to get it. Was like, wait a second. This is 2026. All right, maybe it was 2025 at the time. It was 2025 at the time. I was like, you're just discovering now that Diamond Distributing is going fucking bankrupt. They've been going bankrupt for 5 goddamn years. So it's like that shouldn't have taken you by surprise. All right, and you should know as a business person, a supposed business person, that when you go into bankruptcy litigation, who gets paid first? The creditors get paid first. They're going to force them to liquidate their assets. And on consignment, they're consigned to give you what they sold it for, like what they sold it for. Not a set amount of what it would sell for, but a percentage of what it sold for. All right. And that's where they're going to lose all their money. So now I understand that they just bet. So all I did was point that out. You wouldn't believe how many people were like, blacklist this guy, get him out, and it's like, what? Because I told you the truth? You told me not to buy your shit. All right. And now you're begging for my money? No, it's the same thing that I have with Wizards of the Coast. Take the disclaimer down and I'll consider looking at it. All right. You have the disclaimer on Drive-Thru RPG. I don't care if it doesn't appear in the books themselves. It's on the description of every single thing. You take that down. I'll consider that the apology that it was never given to the player base. I don't care what you've said to Luke Gygax or whatever, here, Luke, here's $1 million and we apologize to you. No, give me a break. It's like, I'm not buying your shit no matter how much I actually respect or have positive interactions with the writers themselves. All right. I'm not giving that company a penny of my dollars, a penny of my money at all. Not to mention that, the United States has phased out the penny. It's
just catching up to us. We did like 10 years ago. Yeah, No, but I agree with you on that. Actually, I agree with you 100% on all of that. If your politics is part of your game design, I have no interest in your game design.
Right.
Even if I agree with you politically, I have no interest in your game design. Because I don't play games to do politics. I play games to get the fuck away from this world.
Yeah.
To escape from this world for a couple hours. That's why a lot of people gave me shit. They were like, why did you set the Zenith Universe, the Legacy version, in the 1980X? What was that about? Because I don't want to fucking play in today's world. Mm-hmm. I don't want to deal with TikTok kids and fucking, goldfish brain and all the rest of that shit that's good. That's a part of our modern world. If you're running a superhero game, you want it to have resonance to the world. It should exist in the world and be affected by the world and affect the world it's in. Well, today's world is shit. Now, I am running current campaign 2026, but I'm avoiding all that YouTube and TikTok and all that other shit because it just doesn't matter for the plots I'm running. But it's exhausting. And so, if your politics are part of your game, not interested. Not interested at all.
Yeah.
Hey, look, Shadow's here.
Yeah.
Hey, Shadow.
And... Shadow, I'm going to be wrapping this up
the link up.
In minutes.
Get
So
Shadow in here for a few minutes. We can make fun of his hair. Come on.
Shadow, you can come in.
I think the link is long since gone. You have to probably share it again.
I'll share it again. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Cancel.
Oh, no, I found it.
Here it is, Shadow. Shadow, jump on in. And we're going to wrap this up before your video premieres anyway.
Oh, what videos he got premiering?
He always has something premiering at 11 o'clock Eastern time.
Nice. I've got a premiere happening at 12 p.m. Eastern on my channel. You should check it out. You might like it.
That's when he does his live stream.
Well, good for him. I've got a nice little video premiering. It's a pre-recorded, so you can watch anytime. But check it out.
Multitask, Shadow. Multitask. Making breakfast.
I guess it's almost it's not even 8 a.m. for him.
Yeah, I mean, making breakfast. I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. I've been awake for 4 hours almost.
Yeah, I haven't eaten.
My breakfast amounted to a cup of coffee and 2 pieces of toast with ricotta cheese on it. That was my breakfast.
I was just I had just woken up and I was just checking messages and stuff, and I saw you streaming, and I popped in. And it's like, oh, well, yeah. So I'm due for breakfast myself.
Yeah. So
I literally finished uploading my premiere video, setting everything up. I'm like, oh, he's on. I'll go say hi. Oh, Sean's there. That'll be even more fun.
Yeah, no, I will typically be running these on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning from 9 to 10:45.
Well, I hadn't seen you since the surgery, so I wanted to come by and say hi.
And I appreciate it. It's good to be back. It's good to now I know that I can get through pretty much a thing here. Here's Shadow. Let's see. Shadow, let us see what you're cooking for breakfast. Let's see what this.
Why is my camera not on? That's weird.
Because it's you boomer.
Yes, today is Monday, Dan. Tomorrow I have a teleconference with my one of my doctors.
Shadow baffled by technology.
No, I'm on my tablet. I haven't used my tablet in years for this.
No, tablet confused. No.
You know how to turn on your tablet?
Could be broken.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah. So anyway, Shadow, I was going to wrap this thing up before 11 o'clock so that I don't step on your premiere. What's the topic of your premiere?
How to use cameras on your tablet.
Yeah, that's the topic, yeah. Shadow. Do you hear us from the other side, Shadow?
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah,
There he is. So I'll take your other tablet one off. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
How do you do this?
There you go.
You're like a master of disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been awake like 15 minutes, so.
Oh my God, no! California sunshine hurts.
It does. It does. When it's 115 degrees, it hurts. Yes.
Oh, that sounds heavenly.
So what are you guys up to?
Yeah. Sweating.
Just shooting the shit.
Talking garbage.
Yep. Just what's your direct contact? Email, Discord. You can get my Discord directly from. You can get my directly from my channel, but I will link my Discord up here. Something I don't do often enough, actually. So let's link my Discord. Let me find it. It'll take me 20 years to get there. Invite to server. Now let me get back over to here. All right, this is my Discord, everyone. So if you're not already on my Discord, you may join my Discord right there. And this is good for like 7 days. So, but I'll repost this again on for Thursday mornings get together. So Shadow, what's your topic for this morning?
Oh, it's just some house cleaning, some announcements. One of the craft projects, what it's going to be, what book we're reading for the book club, just a couple of little things. I didn't really have a topic, and I didn't want to just like. I find that YouTube posts just don't do it for getting information across. They're just kind of worthless, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm interested in your Oprah Winfrey book club.
You what?
I'm interested in your Oprah Winfrey book club.
Oh,
Yeah, when are
Oprah
you
Winfrey.
reading, when is it going to be Morningwood Milking Farm? I'll join in for that one.
No. That should not be in any. Well, it should be on a list, but not an appendix.
How about
we're going to be reading
50 Shades of Gray, but it's referring to your hair?
My hair's the color of spaghetti. What are you talking about?
Spaghetti. Yeah, spaghetti.
Uncooked spaghetti. I noticed that last time I was cooking spaghetti. I was holding it up. I was like, oh, that's not my hair. We're reading The Adventures of Robin Hood this month.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, this is a great one. Join the Discord. Tell us how desperate you are for our commissions to feed your starving pets. We get those.
Lord of mercy.
Dan, morning glory. Yeah, that's.
I'm certain of that.
Yeah. So, Dan, be on the lookout for some more desperate artists on my channel. Dan is my one and only moderator on my Discord, and he loves finding them. I nabbed one yesterday, and like 2 minutes later, he grabbed another one. So it's like they come in rapid. I think they repeat themselves.
Bots. It's bots.
Quickly. Yeah. It's like, dudes, you're not getting in there.
I just like when everybody sends me a message going, hey, this person did this and this. And I'm like, yeah, me too. What do you want me to do about it? I mean, I'll ban them. But I mean, really, like, what? Shall I start the witch hunt? What would you like me to do? Like,
Yeah, ban art bots. And they think they always have like an anime avatar.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always a girl's name.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, nobody's believing that shit.
Hey, can I bother you for a second?
My channel is not attracting any anime-looking cosplay females to the channel. Sorry. I mean, I do have female players, and they may look like that, but they come in serious, like, hey, I'm a gamer. I'm here to game. None of them ever coming in and being silent for that long, and then all of a sudden, then they just start, hey, I didn't get kicked off in the first 3 seconds, so now I'll start pelting everybody with freaking. I'm dying here. I'm starving. I'm a starving artist.
Well, join the club.
I just got one of those on Discord.
Yeah.
Someone looking to make art. I'm like, you're kidding me, right?
Yeah.
Art. Yeah.
Yeah, in this day of easy art, I don't think paying someone $200 on Discord is going to be something I'm on. Not a priority. Not happening.
Yep.
I just got unbanned. I just got off my my 2-week ban from Night Cafe.
What'd you get banned for?
Titties.
What, you made titty pictures? You dirty old man, you.
No, I
Dirty.
made one on accident. And I kept it around and I shared it because it looked good. I mean, it looked good. It was a fire giant. Looked good, and they weren't happy about that.
Wow.
Hey, what's your handle on Night Cafe?
Shadow and Sun.
Oh, Shadow and Sun. All right.
Why you looking to see?
I still use it. It does good stuff. I've racked up like 7,000 free credits just by making one picture a day.
Mm-hmm.
and it only takes a half a credit to make a picture. So that's 15,000 pictures, and some of it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at your thing right now. Yeah, I just added you. You can find me. You'll guess which one is me.
Cool.
But,
No, yeah, I stopped doing that stuff. Like a year ago, I was doing like all the little games and stuff to get credits, and then I'm like,
the credit. Yeah.
I don't need any more. If I actually make even 10,000 pictures, that would be crazy.
No, I like Night Cafe. It gives me some good options, and it's like, all right, if I need an image or to supplement a video or something like that, the AI bots are going to come out and say, oh, no, AI is bad. It's like, well, I need art to supplement, and it's not a skill I possess. So if you're going to finance a real artist for me, then by all means, I'll use real art. But until then, supplementing my stories with
Real artist that is somewhat reasonably priced, or somebody that you can create a long-term relationship with, and over time, reduce that, then that's fine. But
I feel like all three of you would benefit from watching my video premiering at noon Eastern today. I think something tells me this topic might resonate for you all.
okay, I will certainly watch it.
I've been saying it for years, Bear. As long as artists are demanding the lion's share of the profits, they're gonna talk themselves right out of a job.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so for example, there's an artist I won't name, but he and I had worked together a couple of times, and I was bought a bunch of his art packs and all that. And I said to him, hey, I'm interested in maybe looking at having you do a cover for this project I'm doing. He goes, okay. I said, do you mind if I create an AI mock-up of the cover to show you what I'm looking for? But then you'll obviously do it your own way in your own style and all that. Oh, I don't know about AI, but sure, send it over. And I sent it over, and then he quoted me £3,000 sterling for a cover, which is somewhere in the area of about $5,000 to $6,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure how much Elmore and Caldwell are charging these days, but I'm willing to bet for in that ballpark or a little bit more, I could get something from them with name brand with a fucking name brand recognition attached to it.
All right.
So clearly he was just being a dick because I dared to touch AI. It's like, you know what? There are other artists I work with. They love that I give them AI mockups because it saves the exploratory process and that gives them more time to take more commissions. Some people are smart. Some people are stupid. Most people are stupid. That's what we have to keep in mind. It's time to get up, someone.
Yeah, that's my alarm for my show. Hold on.
I got to keep eating my California breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to my show, it's like, okay, I write it, no AI. I do the puppetry. I record, I edit, I do the sound editing and the video editing. And even the music is provided from my friend who's a composer. She lets me use her stuff, right? But she's actually composed it. So, but, it's when I put an AI image in the videos that they come out of the woodworks. Oh, you're using AI slop. It's like, fuck off.
So there you go. So Dan, the final arbitrator, says it best. He says an easily was 7,000 US for an original easily. So that's 2,000 roughly more than this guy wanted, who has a name compared to Jeff fucking Easley.
Yeah, but that's,
what I mean?
Established piece as well. That's not a commission, which I'm sure they wouldn't charge you $7,000 for.
It's insane, and that's the problem. These guys and girls are pricing themselves out of the market, and the only people being hurt by AI art are the ones who are doing the $200 anime commissions. They're the ones who are losing business. Well, you know what? If your entire fucking life was based on doing nerd commissions, you get better, scrub, and get some real commercial jobs that'll pay you money with residuals. Like Jesus Christ. There's a reason why most artists are not business people. As we listen to Shadow crunch the bacon.
Yes.
Crunch. Sorry. I just saw a commercial last night for a company. If you give them an image, any image, like of a person or whatever, right? Or a character, they can turn it into a 3D like statue, miniature, whatever you want.
Sure.
I think they can stop calling it slop now.
Oh no, slop. So the term AI slop it's pejorative and it's just overused. And there are plenty of human slop, and there's been plenty of human slop over the years.
Yeah, there's been
mostly human slop. And the thing is that how many times have you bought something off drive-through, $2-3, whatever it was, some little like, oh, it's 100 tables for this or that, and then it's garbage, and you get it and you go, fuck, I could do better. If I just saved my $3-4 and just done it myself, it'd be better. But you know what?
Yeah,
I use fucking
do that, but I did buy
ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or Grok or whatever, and do the exact same fucking thing and probably better than their bullshit, because it won't include all their what they think is funny jokes. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ. There you go. Look at that.
I think
I'm a graphic designer in the signage and wrap industry. AI has created more work for me, having to turn concepts into reality. Look at that. Smart man. Robbie, you and the company you work for have brains, and hopefully will be in business for long to come. Congratulations, sir. I respect that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're going to see an increase in the price of art, just because they're going to use the claim that they have to charge more now because artists are fewer and fewer and farther in between because of AI.
Well, the AI outrage is about to run its course, right? They're about to lose they're going to find something else to be cause heads about, and that's going to be the new thing. And when that happens, you're going to see Amazon or maybe Drive-Thru RPG or maybe someone else go, you don't have to classify that you're using AI anymore on your product. We'll just get rid of that little feature. And that's going to be the silent slide into it's Photoshop, it's a camera, it's ink, it's a new technology being used by artists.
Maybe.
AI is catering my DuckTales Tailspin custom erotica art business.
It's a tragedy, man. It's a tragedy.
It is. It so is.
It's, even when we upload things, right? They ask, is there any AI content? And it's like on YouTube. And it's like, well, does that count the thumbnails? Because
no, it doesn't.
Right. And so that's why you see this proliferation of AI thumbnails. But maybe they're producing the AI thumbnails. Like they
do. They have their own in-house AI thumbnail generator in AI now.
That's why everybody's AI. That's why everybody's thumbnails looks the same now.
Yeah, because they're just using the one that YouTube provides.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at it. But to be honest with you, I haven't used it yet. Obviously, because you look at my thumbnails. My thumbnails are not. My thumbnails aren't these. Soy-faced and other nonsense. I just throw, if I'm talking about this game, you'll see me, maybe you'll see me like this, maybe you'll just see me, and that's it, with my little, code on it, tag on there. Let's see, I will add Bear.
This is my latest thumbnail made with AI.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I've seen like a proliferation of this. I just have not been using all of their,
But I make this. I don't use this using the YouTube AI generator. I fuck the YouTube AI generator. I have the other generator I use. I've trained it on what I want the look to look like. I have the characters I want it to use, so I get consistent quality results. Oh, it's like a tool. Oh my God, a tool! What a crazy idea that I might have a tool.
Well, maybe that's another way that they're trying to on-ramp it by saying, oh, it's a feature of YouTube, and so we don't have a problem with that. And maybe the rest of the industry, because I'm not going to say that some small publisher doesn't deserve my money because their art is AI art. If their writing is AI, then that's a different story. That's a different
Again, going to disagree with you guys 100% on that, because the AI cannot generate on its own. It requires human input to do so. Also, for people like myself who are severely dyslexic and have a diagonal reading bias, it allows me to write. It allows me to create. It allows me to edit. It allows me to do all the things I need to do without getting brain fog.
It's not doing the actual creativity part of it.
But that you can't, it won't do the actual creativity part. That's what people don't understand about AI. They think you just go, give me novel, click. Novel. It's like, no, that's not.
But it can do a huge portion of it.
I've seen Chat GTP where you put in the prompts that you want of the story you want, and then all of a sudden it'll just start nonstop.
Have you read it? Did you read it?
Yeah,
Did you read what it produced? It's garbage.
It's like Yeah, it's garbage, but you know what? Some people will churn that shit out as that garbage out, and
Okay.
it becomes their, it becomes their adventure, on
Okay.
RPG. Or it
Okay, but at the same time, Dan, with all due respect, there are people out there that have the autistic ability to write 5,000 words a day, and it's garbage, and they put that out, and they put that on Drive-Thru RPG as their module.
Yeah,
This is the point.
I'm-
Quality is quality, no matter what your input
Yeah.
source is. If you do not have good ideas, if you do not have the ability to curate that idea, and if you do not have the ability to edit that idea, it doesn't matter if you're using an automated writer or you're writing it yourself. There'll be less typos in the automated writer, actually. Better sentence structure. So I don't know, man.
Paul, it's not gonna, yeah, Paul.
I use paint to make my thumbnails out of finger paints. That's good, Paul.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, on a paper plate, right? You used to do those on the back of the paper plate with your name and your school on it and your other stuff.
Every thumbnail he does is a hand turkey. You know what I mean? It's just
An actual thumbprint. Yeah.
Yeah. As one guy said in a group I'm a part of, he showed a picture of the banana duct taped to a wall, and he goes, "Remember, while they're screaming at you about AI, they consider this art." And it's like, yep, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
So
your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer.
Exactly. So, Dan, you know who Richard Beto is, if I say who Richard Beto is, right? He's a YouTuber, does a music channel talking about music. He's like Professor Rock and Roll, him. They're the two guys that are the biggest on this. And Beto had a really, really interesting thing to talk about recently. It was about a month ago. He was talking about the decline of quality music. And the reason why is because only the Nepo babies and the rich are making music right now. Why? Because when he was in his 20s, he had a full-time job, was able to pay for an apartment, to share an apartment in Brooklyn, and have money left over for rehearsal space where they could all go rehearse at night. Now, the only people who have that kind of luxury are the kids with money, whose parents gave them cash, right? Who they're basically having money flow down to them because no one can do that with a full-time job anymore. So what happens when all of our art is created by rich kids? Is it going to create great art, or is it just going to create garbage in, garbage out, right? And that's something we need to look at. And that's why AI is important, because yes, we're going to get garbage, but we're going to get garbage anyway. So maybe we can allow that one guy who has a voice and an idea and a thought to produce something without having to, sell his soul to be able to afford to produce it. I'm sorry. I don't see this as a bad thing. I know a lot of people think it is, but I do not see it as a bad thing at all. People are bad things.
If everyone that's watching currently, the 16 of you that is watching currently, if you could all open up another tab to Shadow and Sons over on YouTube and watch his premiere, you can mute it or whatever and watch it later on, but just give him the boost. So make sure you're over there watching him. You missed his, hair blowing and the hair blowing in the fan and the music intro and everything like that. He's talking about books right now. So head on over there and at least open it up. Give him a like as well, because for some reason he cannot get monetized because he keeps on. They keep on saying, "Hey, you're welcome to join our program, our partnership program," and he tries to join and nothing happens. So,
Does he have the viewing hours?
Oh yeah, no, he has everything. They're sending him the invite to join the partnership program, and then he tries to join the partnership program, and then nothing happens. They're not letting him in. He can't
because he's too close to Mount Shasta.
Yeah, it could be. It could be the
the vortices are messing with all of everything.
It's but yeah, I mean, yeah, he definitely deserves to be able to to get those hypes and stuff like that. That's what I'm really looking forward to, is to be able to hype up some of his stuff, because
we don't have that in Canada. Do you have it in Ontario? We don't have it in Quebec yet for hype.
The
you have
which?
that option on your phone? YouTube.
You can't hype on. Can you hype someone's
Yeah,
channel?
I can hype through my phone.
Really?
But you can't on yours.
I'm gonna check. Maybe they've unlocked it finally, because they didn't have it a month ago when I tried last time.
I think you need the
go,
latest update of the Studio app or the YouTube app.
I do. I have it. No, I'm on your video, right? One of your videos, and I can't give hype.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. I can give you a gift though. And I don't have any left, but I could give
Yeah, you can get the golden poops. I love
Yeah.
golden poop. Yeah, the golden poop. I don't know why that would be a gift, but yep. I've been gifted the golden poop several times.
It's so weird. Yeah, I don't know why I can't hype. Maybe I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah,
It's a weird thing.
it must be a
What
Montreal.
gets me, you can only hype on the app. It's like, well, you know, it's
Yeah, you
supposed
can
to be
only
a
hype
thing
on
to
the
help. It's only supposed to be. It's supposed to be a thing to help developing, you know, to smaller channels. Yet they only limit it to people on the app. Like you can't do it on desktop, which is absolutely stupid.
I wasted hypes on 3 sub hype content. Yes. Yeah, so you can get these jewels. I'm on. Yeah, so I'd have to go to my thing in order to highlight that.
Yeah, my YouTube studio is up to date, brother.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I have no answer for you.
See, the only time that I can show the jewels is that, you know, when someone gives those things is by putting it into the stream so that you can see it there. But you can't highlight a jewel like you can a comment and have a comment and the jewel post up over there. So, yeah, thank you very much for that silver star, Paul. I have no idea what those things do.
I was doing this for Max the other night. Every X amount, every 1,000 or every 500, every 100 or something is like 50 cents.
Oh, really?
It converts to 50 cents monetarily.
Well, thank you very much for your contribution of 2 jewels.
Or your 2 pennies.
That's a half a penny. No, not even a half a penny. But thank you very much, regardless. Yeah, I know it's very hard to figure out who you can do those to because I don't always get those offers either. Like offered me to, you know, to send jewels to somebody else.
Yeah, 100 rubies, your jewels on YouTube equals $1, is what it seems to say here.
Really? All right.
So 1 cent per jewel.
Yeah.
1 cent per jewel.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah. So
Well,
he just
thank
gave
you,
you
Paul,
he just gave you his 2 cents worth.
Yeah, thank you for your 2 cents. But like I said, I am a big fan of comments. You know, more so than views, more so than any of that other stuff. You know, comments to me is is how I measure, you know, my channel for its interaction. You know, are people engaged? Same thing like a gaming table, right? If you have players there, like, you know, looking at their phones or, you know, fiddling around with other stuff, not paying attention to what's going on, you know, that's an engagement problem. You know, I know I have more. You know, I have a lot of people that'll say that, like, oh, my channel has like, you know, like 60% of its viewers are not subscribers, you know, and mine's almost flipped from that. I have a higher subscriber amount that views than just people passing through, you know. So I'm like, all right, I seem to have that kind of balance going on, but it's never more than like a 60-40 split or whatever. So I'm glad that I keep on putting out stuff that my subscribers want to watch.
Subscribers,
you know?
yeah.
You know,
Well, when you get 400 views and you got 5,000 subs, it's like, wait, it's like, where is everybody? Where are my subs?
Yeah. Although the other thing is that the views have, you know, the views go up and down and everything like that. And you get into these pockets like we were talking earlier on. I'm sure that all of a sudden I'm going to get put into a new category once the channel hits 5,000. You know, it's been teetering at, you know, the 490s for, you know, 4,900s for a while now. And so I think it's been lowering down the number of views because it's been lingering at that point, you know. But my channel's never really gained much more than like 60 to 70 subscribers per month. You know, so I can always predict kind of like when it's going to about hit. And I guess they want faster, you know, but it's like, well, you know, it is what it is. That's why I'd rather have engagement. You know, I'm not chasing after those things.
Well, I was looking at
Peter.
one of my playlists, because I'm doing this SEO overhaul, and one of my playlists in the past month had over 200 views with a 90% retention. I'm like, 90%. Why isn't YouTube pushing it? If people are sticking around for 90% of my videos, why isn't YouTube pushing it? So that's why it sort of prompted me to say, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? Why?
I don't.
Views is not bad.
Yeah, I don't think that there's an answer to that. It's like, because I'm part of their mentorship program too. Like I joined their mentorship. I went to like one training session and everything, and they're very good training sessions. They were very interesting. It made me appreciate the value of doing community posts more often than I had been doing, and to do membership. I'm not a big fan of the membership only content on YouTube, but it's also where I got the idea of doing podcast and converting things to podcast as well, to add that. But for the most part, I mean, I could reach out to them and saying, hey, what else could I be doing for views? And they'll say the same darn thing. So your thumbnails and your title and your
packaging, the storefront.
The packaging, the storefront. So you know what? I'll mess around with that and see if using their thumbnails and their, title suggestions and everything does anything. I've used some of their other stuff to create the prompts. So put in your key things, OSR, tabletop role playing game, blah 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 blah, and then it'll give me an idea of, well, this is like what people are interested in talking about. And those I've used before, and they're pretty interesting. In some cases they'll get into some of the nuts and bolts of gaming in essence, the background of gaming and what are some of the more challenging aspects of having your players engaged or whatnot, and those are interesting prompts that I get. Like I could go to my thing now and see Shadow Sling is done already. Holy cow. He should come back.
Getting ready for his own live stream.
He has a long time before his live stream. I actually have to go before that because my wife should be home soon. My wife and daughter should be home soon. Let me track them and see. Yeah. And then I have a family friend is a nurse is a nurse, and so she is going to stop by. My wife is on her way. She is going to stop by and change my my dressing.
Nice.
So yeah, it's nice to have people who are
decent people.
What is this YouTube link that you sent?
That's my premiere that's coming up at noon Eastern for the Age of Ante.
Hey everybody!
Age of Ante.
Everybody, check that out. And so hopefully she's not at 12 o'clock. I'll try to make the premiere. If not, I'll certainly respond to it. Maybe I'll do a response video to it afterwards, because she may have me maybe peeling off my bandages.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I don't think you were here, Bear. I have like 50 staples.
Nice.
Closely aligned, straight from about here all the way down to the navel.
Wow.
Like straight freaking clean line. When she first put the bandages off to check to see if the new gauze came on, clean as hell. She was like, oh my God. She was like, this is such a great job. She was like, there's nothing coming through that freaking incision. Nice. She was like, this is a nice, clean cut. Yeah, he was he has a great reputation as a surgeon and a terrible reputation for bedside manner, which we did not encounter at all. We did not encounter that at all because I was afraid my wife meeting him for the first time, because when I met him for the first time, he came in and I had to fill out some paperwork, to authorize the surgery to take place. And the secretary, I guess, up there misspelled my name on top after, he had already signed off on it. And then when he realized that she made a mistake, he goes out of the room, hands it off to a nurse. She runs it up to the front to get a new one done because now both I and he has to re-sign it again. And then I hear him walking away, mumbling under his breath. It was like, how the hell can somebody be hired and they don't even know how to spell? You know, and I was like, damn. I was like, this guy is freaking brutal. You know, but meeting him in person and everything, it was, you know, he was fine with both my wife and myself. Thankfully, because my wife is Sicilian and she would freaking drag my ass out of that hospital mid surgery if he was nasty towards it. And, but no, he's a great surgeon.
Good. I'm glad
and the hospital care was very good. It was just too goddamn consistent. It was like, you know,
Oh, how dare they?
every 2 hours in the room. The only time that they were not prodding me, poking me, pulling blood or something was between 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the afternoon through the entire night. At 12 o'clock, at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 3:45 in the morning, at 6 o'clock in the morning, somebody was in my room. Oh, I'm sorry to wake you. We got to do that. Wake. I says, I haven't had a chance to fall asleep yet. I started getting up out of bed at 5:30 because it was just easier to be prodded at when I'm sitting in a chair. And I waited until they were on lunch to actually take a snooze. But again, very, very good care. Very good hospital. I thought it was going to be decent food. My kids loved the food in the cafeteria, and they had like a full sushi bar kind of thing going on in the cafeteria. But the food that they brought me, that was always like, I was like, all right, that wasn't as impressive as I thought. But all of my taste buds and everything have changed too. Now I'm like hypersensitive to sugar and salt. It's like I taste that shit right away. That's
nice.
because I haven't really eaten real food in over 2 weeks.
Yeah, maybe that's a good thing.
That actually happens when you go off sugar and salt. Is you become more sensitive to it. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. Build
I ate
up
some
a
crap.
blood control.
What is that?
E-juice.
Oh, okay.
It's for my vape.
I got it. I thought you were showing something to punch the point.
Yeah,
home.
no. Nope.
So anyway, gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thank you very much for popping in. I will see you all, everyone. I will see. Yes, the cafeteria had sushi. Yeah, beautiful. This is Vassar Hospital, so it's a private hospital. That's where all my doctors are associated, surgeons are associated with. But yeah, no, it was, the cafeteria looked incredible. It looked like a restaurant spread that you would see, in there. And yeah, everyone said the food was good. So anyway, gentlemen, thanks a lot. Everybody in the, in the chat, thanks for popping on in. I will see you on Thursday morning, basically with recaps of both my Tuesday night game and my Wednesday night game. Wednesday night game I'm playing in the Erudite TM's Dark Sun, second edition Dark Sun game. So that's going to be a live play, I believe, which I've never done before. So
Beware the cannibal halflings.
Yeah. He has a lot of halflings, I think, in that game there. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and should be fun. I've never done a live play before, so don't expect me to be cosplaying. Yeah, I should go in costume. That would be fun. My wife would definitely leave me if I did that. So anyway, thanks a lot, everyone. You all have a great one.